Hello everyone, welcome back. What I want to do is actually just play a few turns of Law Resistance, if I got the cover here. It's the upcoming to Kickstarter game from Flying Pig Games, and it's just a dice and card game, dice and cards. It's not a simulationist game or anything like that. But what I have here is a playmat that's going to be a stretch goal. Now again, none of the art, all of this is kind of prototype, close to final, and the playmat is still kind of, you know, going through some tweaks. So whatever you see here might not be what the final results are. Now, one deck you have is the event deck. The first player, as you go through all the people playing, every time it swings back around to the first player, you draw a new event card, and that event card has things that can affect the entire turn. It affects everybody throughout the turn. So I'm going to shuffle those up real quick, and I have a spot here on the playmat for them, but camera doesn't show those. And then we have the C'est la Guerre cards. And these are cards that will give you either something that you can use to hamper one of the other players, because again, the idea is, even though you're all French freedom fighters, if you will, you're trying to see who's the best one, and so you have cards that can benefit you or hinder your opponent, and it's kind of fun in a multiplayer game to hinder your opponent. That's why I'm going to say right up front, this does not make a very good solitaire game in that respect, because either A, you play with one person, and then there's no one to, you know, draw off of. But if you play one person and you run two cells, and you can kind of steal glory and stuff back and forth between the two, but there's no plotting. It's just, yeah, it definitely is a game that will work better with multiple players. This is like a party game. So anyway, here's the C'est la Guerre cards. I'll just set those off to the side. I was told how to say that and I already forgot, so I'm probably saying C'est la Guerre wrong. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to say that this Jean Dumont is first, and then Dylan Boutreau is second. So kind of sequence will go like this. And the skill that Jean Dumont has, he's a sniper. So when he fights against Panzer Grenadiers, Gendarmes, which are the French, basically like turncoats, and or German patrols, he gets to add a token to help eliminate those as a sniper. Then Dylan's skill is he can pay a sum off of his dice up to 5. He can steal a resistance member from a rival band per turn. Steal one. So once per turn I can steal one person. So that's actually a really good ability. So these are both really good skills to have. And when the game comes so far, it's going to come with 6 folks. Now in the middle, this is where the action happens. So you're going to have your mission deck, and before play progresses to the next person, you draw your mission cards. So since we're just starting out, I draw my 3 mission cards. And because Jean Dumont is the first player, he draws an event card off the event deck. So he drew Wehrmacht Veterans. So it says, a train full of troops has come in from the Eastern Front, and undefeated German patrols and Panzer Grenadiers eliminate 1 extra recruit per round. So there's a little bit of flavor text, and then the mechanic of it. So if there's any German patrols or Panzer Grenadiers that we don't take care of, they eliminate 1 extra recruit. So that could be very bad. What do we have here? We've got an airstrike, botched raid, 2 botched raids. I did shuffle them. Apparently I didn't shuffle very well. So the airstrike, it says, falling from the sky without warning. Law Resistance is only defense with their rifles. So they don't have a lot of anti-aircraft weaponry. Then we have a botched raid, and that says the Germans sniffed this one out. Now it is up to you to make the best of a bad situation. So they found out we were going to do something. It says, if defeated, take glory from a player of your choice. So if we defeat the card, I can take glory from a player of my choice. Now, on the card, you have on the right-hand side the results of either defeating or not defeating the card. If it has a red background and like that minus sign, then you lose what's indicated. So here, if I don't clear the airstrike, I lose three soldiers or 3 people. Here, if I don't clear this one, I lose 2 glory and a person. Same with this botched raid here. I lose 2 glory and a person. But if I clear it, I can earn glory. But if I clear this one, I don't earn anything, but I don't lose people either. So, choices. Alright, but in order to make choices and do stuff, you roll the dice. So when you're starting out, you grab all 6 of these white dice. And now we have to decide how to spin them. This is bad. That is a bad roll. And I got a 6 and a 5. Not too bad, but these ones don't do anything for me. Now, every time you roll a 6, you have the option on a 1-to-1. So if I had like 2 6s, I could roll 2 blue dice. But I rolled 1 6. Now, if you roll this, that's an additional die you can use, to defeat the cards. But if you roll a 1, you still get to use the 1, but you lose 1 soldier, one of your recruits. So there's a little bit of risk involved if you want to spend, if you want to claim a blue die. But I'm going to, because I rolled really bad. And I rolled a 1. Wow, things just went really bad for Jean Dumont. So he loses a dude, and now he's got like nothing he can do here. I can clear a botched raid, and that's it, because I don't have enough 5s. Now, how do you spin the dice? Let me grab a pointer. Well, on the card, if it's a white die facing, that means you have to spend 1 die of that number or higher to cover it. If it's black, that means you can sum dice that you have to equal that number or greater. So if I wanted to clear this, I could place my 6, because that's greater than one of the 5s. I could place my other 5, because that equals one of the 5s there. But then I'd have to add up to, what is that, 8. Well, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I can't buy that card. So I mean, I can clear part of it, but I can't do this bottom part. That's why these 1s are so bad. But over here, I can do this botched raid because it's sums. So again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I could take all of these 1s and put it here, and then I could take a 5. Like this would be, that's legitimate. And we're going to do that. I'm going to show you why in a second. Now, because I cleared that one, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to kind of rotate that a little bit. And here I have 1 6 left over. I mean, I could put it here, but it's not going to clear that card. And I can't even come close to clearing the airstrike. So this 6 is not entirely bad. What you can do is there's a couple things you can buy. Like 1, you can steal a recruit from another player for 6 points. You can steal glory from another player for 6 points. Or, let's see, or I can buy one of these rebel cards here, these C'est la Guerre cards. I could spend 6 points and buy a card. So I have a couple options. Now, because Jean Dumont is about to lose a whole bunch of people, he's going to use this 6 to steal a dude from Dylan Boutreau. So I get back to my 6 recruits. Alright, and that's all my actions. So I used my dice to clear the botched raid. Now we resolve what's left. Well, first of all, because I did clear this one in the middle, it says I can, if defeated, take 1 glory. Well, the problem is there's only one other player and he didn't even have any glory. So even though I cleared the card, I didn't win anything. But what I did was I prevented the loss of glory and a person. So I'm just going to stick that off to the side in a discard pile. I'm going to put that up there. I'm going to stick the discard down here so it's on camera. Boop. But then I failed this botch raid. So that means I lose 2 glory, which is fine because I had no glory to start with. But I lose a recruit. Bye. That's bad. Then the airstrike. I didn't clear it, so I lose 3 more people. 1, 2, 3. And here's the part that is kind of tough for the next person. We fill the missing mission slot, and now the next person has to deal with airstrike, a POW camp at least, and a botched raid. Oof, well, that could be bad. Alright, so next person rolls, so that would be Dylan. Hopefully Dylan rolls much better. I'm going to take that blue die out because I don't need that yet. Yeah, that's semi-better. Semi-better. So Dylan got 2 6s, so he's going to roll 2 bonus dice because we want to get rid of that airstrike. Now you might say, well, I'll just leave the airstrike because that will mess with everybody else. but it's really going to hurt you. So you want to clear the bad ones if you can. Okay, well, we did roll 1, so Dylan loses somebody, but now he's got some dice to play with. All right, now the airstrike, that's bad. So he's going to clear that. So he can actually take like the 6, greater than the 2 5s, but he's cleared the 5s, and then he has a 6 and 2 of these, and that clears the sum of 8 on the black. So this card, airstrike, is taken care of, and he won't lose anybody. So he doesn't get anything else for clearing it, but he's not going to lose 3 people. That means these other cards stay. So what happens? Because see, I've only got 5, so I can't even buy a card. I can't steal a recruit or a glory from anybody. So these 5 points are just kind of like, they're bad. But we cleared the airstrike, so that's fine. Now here, because I didn't clear the POW camp, there's no loss. This one, if you clear it, you actually get 3 glory and another recruit, because you free somebody from the POW camp. Here in the botched raid, though, I didn't clear it, so I actually lose 2 glory, which is fine. I had no glory, and I lose a recruit. So now he's down to 3 recruits. These 2 resistance cells are not off to a good start, but that devastating airstrike is gone. So he'll flip the card. Oh good, another POW camp. So there's a chance at possibly getting some recruits. Now, that's the end of the second player, so it goes back to the first player. We draw a new event card. This time I drew a lull in the fighting. It just basically says there's nothing happening, so there's no additional effect this turn. So good, I don't have to worry about ambushes or additional penalties. We're just going to have a turn of dealing with these cards. So Jean Dumont goes. Come on, Jean. All right. Well, I don't know how much better that is, but that's something. We can play with that. I did get a 6, so he's going to be bold and roll the blue die. Got a 4. All right, there we are. We are moving along. Okay, I want to clear the botched raid because I can't afford to lose anybody else. But I might not have enough to clear a POW camp. Now the other thing is, I could probably clear a POW camp, and then the person that I earn would counteract the person that I lose and give me 3 glory. So I'm actually going to try and clear a POW camp, which I can't. Yes, I can, because I have a 6 that will cover that 5. I have a 5 which covers that 5, and then I have a 4 on my blue, and that covers that. So I cleared this POW camp. Now these dice I have left over is not enough to clear. Yeah, see, because 3 and 3 is 6, so I would clear that first black die on the botch raid because it's the sum of, but then this 3 and 1 is only a 4. It's not enough to clear this here. So what I can do is I can steal a recruit because I got 6. Now because I've only got 6 here, this is only 4. I mean, I got 1 action. I can steal a glory, steal a recruit, or buy a card. Now there is a rule, and I didn't mention it before because nobody so far has had glory, but if you have glory and then you're forced to lose people, like, you know, you lose dudes, you pay 2 glory and you can prevent the loss of a person. So there's something you can do, but again, only if you have glory. I got no glory, so we're losing people horribly here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually steal a recruit from Dylan. So I take one of his recruits, boom, and that will use those points. I clear the POW camp, so I get 3 glory. I move that onto the board finally. I earn a recruit. I didn't clear the botched raid, so I lose 2 glory. Oh, that was terrible. And I lose a recruit. So ultimately, off this whole exchange, I gained 1 soldier, 1 recruit, and 1 glory. We are not going to save France very quickly at this rate. Then it would go to Dylan. He draws a POW camp. All right, yay! There's a lot of POW camps here in this part of France. So Dylan rolls. Come on, Dylan. All right, he's got the 6. We're not doing so good. But what's good about this is he can focus his efforts on clearing the botched raid. I did roll a 6, so I'm going to roll the blue. Come on, blue. Got a 4. Alright, excellent. So how is that excellent? Well, this botched raid has been kicked in everybody's tush, so we're going to go ahead and clear it. So I'm going to put a 6 there, and I'm going to put this 3 and 2 just because that equals 5. I mean, again, any combination of these dice, as long as they add up to 5 or more, will clear that. So botched raid is clear. Now, again, botched raid doesn't give me any. What it does, it says I can, if defeated, I can take glory from a player. But more importantly is I'm not losing anything. And with these POW camps, I didn't clear them, but again, I don't lose anything. So yay, that's good. Alright, so, but remember, if you spend 6 dice, I can buy a Sailor Gare card, I can steal a person or steal a glory. And Dylan is running low on people, so he's going to take that 6. He's going to steal a recruit from Jean Dumont. Now remember, Dylan is charismatic. His ability is if he spends dice that add up to 5, he can steal 1 resistance member from a rival band per turn. So he's actually going to take that 5 and steal a guy from Jean Dumont. So boom, he's rebuilding his group. And because he did successfully complete the botched raid, he gets to steal 1 glory. So now Dylan is the best resistance leader up to this point in all of France. Clever, clever, clever. Alright, we put a new mission, draw a new event card because we're back to Jean Dumont. This is a SS massive search. The SS are conducting a massive sweep across France. Each player loses 1 recruit. Oh no! That means and Jean is out. Now, if Jean had some glory points, remember he could have spent 2 glory points to have mitigated the loss of that 1 person. But because I had stolen, well, he only had 1 anyway, but I stole Jean's glory, I prevented him from being able to do that. But that's the end of the game. That's a quick solo game. But there you go. That's an example of how the game plays. I actually played out pretty quick and let me demonstrate some mechanics there. That was nice. Yeah, so could you play the game solo? I mean, you absolutely can play like any game in the world solo, I think. Are you going to get the same effect of trying to, you know, mess with multiple people? You know, no, because there's only 1 other person to mess with, unless you played solo and put 3 people out. So like I'm saying, really this is a great party game of 3, 4, and 5 people. But sometimes all you have is a camera and yourself, and you can play it solo. And I did. And Dylan is now the winner. Because there's 2 win conditions. Either A, you're the first person to get 12 glory, or you all of your opponents lose all the recruits, like Jean did. He ran out of recruits, and therefore he's out of the game, and that leaves Dylan the only one on the table with recruits. So that's the 2nd win condition. And that's it. That is the basics of Law Resistance. I hope you like that. Not everybody likes this kind of game, but if you want to see more just solo, I can pick 2 different people. You know, I certainly don't mind showing this game off because it actually, like, I think this is pretty fun. I played this last night with someone and they said, yeah, this is actually pretty fun. And they're not a war gamer. So yes, this is not a war game. It is just a nice dice and card manipulation game with a war game, you know, World War II theme to it. But it's that theme that makes it really fun to play. And the mechanics are really, I think they're really, really good. But that's about all I have for now with Law Resistance. Like I said, as the Kickstarter comes, you know, we'll let everybody know when that is coming out. I think it's going to be in January sometime, but I don't have a date yet. So as you know, we get closer to the holidays and things like that, I think this is probably be closer to a January release. So if you're interested in this, keep an eye out for that, and we'll let everybody know when that goes live, and then we'll go from there. Thanks a lot for tuning in, and we'll see you all later.